Welcome to 365 Christian Men, where every day we aim to inspire and encourage with real-life stories about men. February 10th, Ben Mueller. Ben holds an MBA and has a stellar record as Chief Financial Officer, Controller, and International Financier. But one of his biggest achievements happened at a weekend event with the Crucible Project. A men's Crucible Weekend is like a retreat designed to challenge men to look at what is and is not working in their lives. It's an opportunity to discover new truths about themselves and to embrace their God-given masculinity. It's about radical honesty and grace. Not all men are ready to be that honest with themselves. But on this date in 2018, Ben did it. Here's his story.
Until you discover what drives you, change feels impossible. Let God reveal and heal. Ben Mueller was 13 when he had his first beer. And that night, one beer turned into 8. This is what I want to feel like, he thought. Instant freedom. But Ben was addicted. Soon he was in bondage to drugs too, including crack cocaine. Ben didn't understand it, but self-hatred drove him. He said, I was trying to kill myself with drugs, alcohol, and really whatever. But the other part of me, my soul, was trying to survive. It was this constant internal battle. In his late 20s, Ben attended Alcoholics Anonymous, and AA taught him to pray for help. God's not going to help me, Ben thought. He's got other stuff to do. After an AA meeting, Ben drove to a liquor store, opened the door, and then said, Okay, God, if you're going to help me, this is the time. He closed the door and drove away. He couldn't believe it. Ben was sober for 30 days, but he started using crack again, and he was distraught. He wrote a letter to God. You either take this now or I'm going to kill myself. He then drove to a church where an AA group met and slipped the letter into a huge Bible on display at the back. He never used crack again. But beneath the victory lurked unrelenting self-hatred. Ben fought it with overachievement. But wherever he had a success, in relationship, fitness, or business, Ben always did something to screw it up. On the outside, Ben had it together. He went to church, had a beautiful family, and earned success. But Ben resisted deep connection. His life was marked with anxiety, depression, and self-sabotage. When Ben was 34, he had his third back surgery. The doctor put him on Oxycontin. Addiction was immediate. After 4 months, Ben almost died. The doctors changed his prescription to Suboxone, which was also an opioid. Thus began a 10-year battle with prescription drug addiction. Desperate, Ben quit taking the medicine, and he crashed. His family watched helplessly as he crawled through their home, sobbing. He'd come off too quickly. And with his doctor's help, Ben began to slowly come off the opioids. A year and a half into the process, Ben attended a Crucible Project weekend. Crucible forced him to dig in to see what the heck was going on. Ben had realized that his self-hatred had started when he was only 9. The day Ben's babysitter's 17-year-old son took Ben into his room and sexually abused him. From then on, Ben had believed he was worthless, bad. For 2 years, the teen, and sometimes the guy's friends, also abused Ben. At Crucible, Ben realized the sexual abuse drove everything. He said, I had compartmentalized and pretended it was gone, but it was the thread. 3 guys laid hands on Ben and prayed for him. Sobs shook Ben's body. His beliefs went from, you're bad and you caused this, no one wants you, no one loves you, to, you're a great person, God loves you, and your family loves you. His whole life, Ben had danced around the thread of abuse. Ben said, as men, we put blinders on and keep crashing through walls. But sooner or later, trauma catches up to you. You either fight out of it or you die. After Crucible, Ben chose to trust God more deeply and go through trauma counseling. It was a painful journey, but now Ben is free from addiction, self-hatred, and self-sabotage. Job 12:22 says, God reveals the deep things of darkness and brings utter darkness into the light. Could there be a hidden root of destruction in your life? Until you discover what drives you, change feels impossible. Let God reveal and heal.
Thank you for listening to today's story. Every day of the year, our hope is to inspire you with real-life stories of faithful men who have gone before us. Hebrews 12:1 says, Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin that so easily ensnares us. Let us run with endurance the race that is set before us. Join us tomorrow for another story at 365christianmen.com.